Narito ang programang totoong-totoo, Tambayan sa DWIZ. Programang magliliwanag ng ilang mahahalagang mga issue. Tambayan sa DWIZ. At ngayon, narito na sila upang maghatid ng saya sa bawat Pilipino. Sa programang Tambayan sa DWIZ.
Welcome to Tambayan. Today is May 2, Thursday. It's Manko Thursday. Nick.
Good afternoon po sa inyong lahat, mga katambay at kasosyo. Dito na naman po sa Tambayan. At marami-rami kami ngayon. Masaya dahil it is Manko Day. Of course, kasama si Attorney Ahmed. Oh. Kumusta mga katambay at kasosyo? Favorite nyo itong araw na ito dahil puro mga kababalaghan. Ang pag-uusapan namin ngayon.
Kababalaghan lang naman yan kung ignorante ka sa tinagal-tagal ng pagpapaniwala mo sa isang sistema na nagsisinungaling naman pala sa'yo.
Tama. Ayan.
Para sa atin, walang kababalaghan. Everything is possible, everything is believable, everything is reasonable.
Tama. Ayun. Buti matino-tino ang ilaw natin ngayon, ano? Kasi
may highlights nga lang yung ulo ko lang.
Na ano yung highlights?
Don't forget to like and share. Ang DWIC text line is 0918-350-2378 para dun sa mga nakikinig sa atin sa radyo. Meron din tayong landline. DWIC hotline. We can take messages or comments from you. 470-1750-254. Ulitin po natin, 470-1750-254. We're on Facebook Live at saka YouTube live streaming para dun sa mga tambay namin sa Facebook at YouTube. Don't forget to like and share. Meron din DWIZ app available at all app stores if you want to listen to us via audio.
May pasalamatan ko lang kagabi yung mga katambay natin at kasosyo na sumuporta at tumutok dun sa FB Live ko about mga election visions, mga pangitain ko. At lumalabas doon, walang papasok na otso.
Ang sad naman yan.
Oo. Yan ay base sa constellations, planets, tarot cards, sa Eastern Science and Numerology.
Yan ba yung tinutukoy nila when the stars conspire?
Yes. Nag-conspire, hindi ko to inimbento kasi lumalabas yan. Oo.
Minalas.
At ang napansin ko rin, 5 sa kanila, ang numerology number nila is 7. Ang 7 kasi very secretive, malihim, at hindi mapagkakatiwalaan. Yun ang number 7 the negative side of 7.
Ano ang positive side ng 7?
Ang positive side is intellectual. Pero pwedeng gamitin kasi yung intellect sa hindi maganda. Oo, kasi pwede mong gamitin sa kabutihan, pwede rin sa masama. So, yun ang negative side. Doon naglilin kasi yung mga visions ko kagabi, medyo lutang na ako eh. 12 na. Ang wala lang ako kasi birthday ni Larry Gadon. Okay. Oo, so kung merong man sa inyo nakakaalam ng birthday niya, birth date, complete month, day at saka year, paki-message nyo lang po sa akin. Yun. Uy, maganda ngayon ang ating magiging mapapag-usapan. Kasi kanina alam nyo mga katambay at kasosyo, behind the scenes, pinag-uusapan namin about God at saka women. Ang bathala at ang mga kababaihan. Alin ang unahin natin?
Start tayo dun sa
Sabay-sabay na?
Pwede rin.
Sabay-sabay na natin. Kasi na-intriga ako, Attorney Trixie, dun sa iyong pinost dati, na binasa ko, yung role ng mga kababaihan, both before biblical times at saka up to the present. So, ang ganda. Tama nga naman, tumutugma, base rin sa aking kaalaman. Ito ay galing yata hango to sa isang website na pinakita. Kasi ang alam lang naman ng karamihan, Adam and Eve. Yun lang. Pagkatapos, iba na, distorted na. Pero hindi nila alam kung ano ba talaga ang role o ginagampanan ng mga kababaihan before biblical times. At maganda maipaliwanag natin to sa lahat ng mga katambay at kasosyo para malaman nila ano ba talaga ang estado ng kababaihan. Diba?
Meron kasing tinatawag. At napapansin niyo na ang mga, for some reason, although para sa atin mga Filipino, maliwanag ang equality, ha?
Maliwanag na maliwanag yan. Oo.
Or may konting advantage minsan ng babae, di ba? In some families are matriarchal,
Tama.
mas malakas yung women. Pero in general, accepted yung equality. This goes back to our pre-colonial past, na bago dumating kasi ang mga Kastila, meritocracy ang Philippine societies.
Meritocracy,
So, ibig sabihin, nagiging leader ka, you rise to the position of leadership based
Dahil sa-
on capability,
Tama, kakayanan.
at saka ano yung needs ng community. So, kunwari, nasa gyera yung community ninyo, parating may alitan, yung strongest warrior, male, female, or binabae, or binalaki, ay maaaring maging warrior.
Yes.
So, warrior leader.
Kaya nga, di ba, nasa mga historical figures natin, merong Prinsesa Ortuha. Yan, tapos
There's
meron...
Joan of Arc.
Yes. Tapos meron din Gabriela Silang. So, ang mga kababaihan at pati ang mga babaylan, respetado, mataas ang kanilang estado dahil nga sa kakayanan nila.
So, pero kasi dun sa dahil syempre we live in a multicultural world. It cannot be helped na yung may mga tinatawag na female archetypes. Ang babae kasi parang naka-classify, naka-categorize. Kahit kunwari, makinig ka dun sa mga usapang girlfriend
Ayan,
ng mga boys. Pag tinanong mo, yung something like, anong type mo na babae? Ay, gusto ko yung simple lang, which infuriates me to no small degree. Ay, yung simple lang, yung tahimik, ganyan. Palusang ko kayo dyan. But that's a female archetype. Yeah. Virgin,
that
simple,
kind of
ganon.
That kind of archetype only came very late in the age of philosophies that is that impacts our perception of women in the society and in religion, for example. Because even before the Middle Ages, when Christianity was born, and even later that Islam was born, women were more or less equal with men. In some places they were even more than men, because they can
matriarchal
give birth
societies,
to human beings, and most of them, because of childbirth, would live longer. Science now would later vindicate that idea that because of childbirth, women get longer life.
Because we have more complex and more sophisticated immune systems. Kasi you have to
I
carry
don't know
life.
how that happens, but it
Kaya yung mga iba dyan na lalaki, nagrereklamo pag tinutulian, wala po yung sinabi sa panganganak, di ba?
Yes, I can imagine.
Oo.
And before the Middle Ages, women were equal with men. May mga the immediate source of the deities of Christianity is the Greek and Roman philosophies. Andon yung mga babae, sa Greeks, andon sina Hera and all those women na may powers, na malalakas and equal with men. And sa Roman, sina Freya, sina yung
dami,
equivalent ng Greeks,
Aphrodite,
andun din.
Yan,
Sa sa Celtic society,
meron din,
Queen Boudicea,
Yeah.
na yung
Celtic society, yes.
who fought against the Roman conquerors.
Yes.
In the Middle East, andun din yung mga Akkadians, they believed in the Earth Mother. Yung di ba, yung sculpture na bato na laking And then there was Lilith, and there were other goddesses at the time that were not only believed in and worshipped by women but also men.
Speaking of Lilith, no? Kasi maraming hindi nakakaalam or nakakakilala sino ba si Lilith. Oo. Kasi 'di ba, ang alam lang natin based sa tinuturo ng simbahang Katolika, 'di ba? At saka mga Kristyanismo, Judeo-Christians, Adam and Eve lang. Yun lang ang alam nila.
So dalawa lang.
Dalawa lang.
Yung
At
gender.
hindi lang yun. Si Eve daw ay galing lang sa tadyang. Tadyang ba, di ba? Rib,
Yes,
di ba?
rib.
So doon lang daw galing. Kaya ang pananaw nila, secondary lang, inferior ang babae sa lalaki.
Because
Pero
man came first.
Oo, kasi nauna daw ang lalaki bago daw itong si babae. Pero maraming hindi nakakaalam na historically meron ding isa pa, si Lilith. Ayan. At
This is let's just contextualize that. This belief of Lilith and in relation to Eve is belongs to the tradition of the Hebrews, Hebraic tradition there in geology and theology. It follows there because Lilith not only exists in the belief of the Hebrews, but also in other places like Islam and even before that the Akkadians and Persians. There was the goddess of the desert, si Ishtar.
Ishtar.
Those are the archetypes that would later on solidify the idea of Lilith. But let's talk about how we came to know of Lilith, and that would be traced to the Hebrews, to the what we call now the Jews and the Israelites and all these people.
Okay.
Kasi dyan nanggagaling yung myth ng Eden and from that story became Lilith, that is believed to be the first wife of Adam. They were created together, but apparently this Lilith character does not want to be inferior to this Adam dude. So the symbolism there in the scriptures is that she does not want to have sex with Adam when lying down on her back.
Anong tawag sa
Hindi yung
posisyon na yun?
subservient na missionary position.
Missionary. Ayaw
But she did not want to be limited. On the other hand, ayaw ni Adam na nasa dominant position daw si Lilith because he was the male.
But really, people should not limit their reading of that story to sex and that. Kasi nagiging deviant si Lilith dyan sa story na yan. You must understand that this story is just an allegory of a womanhood and manhood and their existence in society and stature in society. And the story writer of the Bible and all this line of stories just really focus on the sex part because at that time sex was slowly becoming sinful.
Tama. So ito nga, si Lilith is kapantay dapat siya. Based on equal. Ayaw nga niya mapailalim, ayaw niya ng missionary position.
Anything, baka even more than an equal. Kasi si Adam likha ni Yahweh. Si Lilith hindi. Hindi siya, hindi niya kinoconsider na creator na si Yahweh. And therefore, she had her own rules. So, pero si Adam, dahil nga likha siya ni Yahweh at binigyan siya ng, kumbaga, first, primordial status. Then, primogeniture status also. Siya yung heir. Then, iba din yung pananaw niya. So that obviously did not work out.
That is clear because Yahweh only named two individuals in the story of Genesis. Adam and Eve. And he let them name all the animals and all that. But nobody named Lilith. Nobody named Satan. Nobody named... I mean, they existed before this two human beings were given names. In other words, Satan and Lilith and all of these creatures were not created by God. They were already there when humans were created by Yahweh. And that is the logical consequence of all these things in that story.
Tinatanong ni Doc Ethel, so who created Lilith? Well, there's a mythology. Not saying, kasi hindi natin pwede, there's no such thing as a single mythology, the mythology. There is a mythology that says that Lilith and Yahweh and Satan
they're brothers and sisters.
They're all what are called the firstborns, all created out of the chaos by no one in particular, but they were born fully formed and out of the chaos of the universe, and from that they placed order in the universe. That's why the Bible never mentions a creator for Lilith. Ito lang si Yahweh medyo nagmamando. possibly because he was the first among firstborns. Yun lang.
Well, he was not the eldest, really. The eldest, according to that story, was three of them. It was Leviathan and Samael and Yahweh.
Okay.
They were the first in let's say in an hour, 1 hour of creation in the Big Bang. Let's say those three came on the first 3 minutes. But and then the rest, Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael, and there are 7 of them. Actually 8. But Lilith came out together with her twin, which is Satan. So kambal daw niya, so sabayan silang lumabas. So actually the first 3 minutes, there were 4 entities that were created. But they consider that the entire creation of the firstborn as one continuous and at the same time creation, and they were created all at once. So equals yan sila, and they respected each other, and they had assignments in heaven and all that. Until yun nga, yung nagkaroon na ng storya na some people were ousted from heaven, ganito ganyan, na hindi masyadong malinaw anong timeline niya, kung ilang rebellions ang nangyari dyan.
Kung ilan yung rebellions.
Parang sa atin iisa lang, pero if you look at the timeline, reading all the Bible and all the books around the Bible, you will see that there were many rebellions. There was rebellion of Satan, Samael, there was the rebellion of Lucifer, there was the rebellion of other
even in the Hindu literature, the ancient Hindu literature, marami rin rebellions na ni-record. And this was also written, although medyo hindi pa sure kung fiction talaga, ni Zechariah Sitchin, yung 12th planet na sinasabi niya rito. May mga allusions kasi, at saka merong parallelisms, yung mga historical accounts, even Sumerian period, pati yung sa Judeo-Christian, dun sa nag-create sa atin. Kasi according to Zechariah Sitchin naman, the God is not really the God na pagkakaintindi natin, but an alien that created everyone equally. So, kakaroon ng parallelisms. Although, going beyond that, saan ba nanggaling talaga yung mga aliens na yun? So again, there's this divine creator that created everyone. Yun. So si Lilith nga, na-displace siya. Kasi nga nung pumasok nga itong Christian, Judeo-Christian belief system, ayan na.
So even
na siya.
dun sa sa Vedic traditions, just to
Vedic,
add more, dito sa Khmer, dun sa yung kanilang creation story is about the churning of the ocean of milk, which is an allegory for the universe. Tapos you had the Devas and the Asuras who were fighting it out for domination. So may ganun din. So it parallels the alleged rebellion, the celestial rebellions in the Judeo-Christian traditions. And then yung dun sa pero dun sa Celtic tradition, meron bang ganun? May rebellion din ba?
Meron din. Meron din rebellion. Pero dito kasi maraming deities. Maraming deities at saka very connected sa nature naman.
Correct.
In fact, we consider nga Mother Earth Gaia. Diba? The word Gaia. So, merong Mother Earth, may Father, God. So, they're all equals. Tapos nagkaroon din ng rebellion because of yung mga characteristics, human characteristics that they embody. Yun ang kanilang nire-represent. Kaya nagkakaroon ng talunan din. But more than that, harmony talaga ang pinupush ng
I think that what was going on in the Greek gods was like that. Kanya-kanya sila but if you took out Hera, then the entire universe will go to hell. If you took out whom you think was a really bad, Hades, who will take care of the dead? And the people who blew their head off in war would still be walking around and talking to you. Somebody to take care of those things. Diba? So you cannot take out Hades. And you cannot take out hell. Diba? So, in other words, kahit na may mga rebellion na ganyan, those rebellions in that philosophical system is necessary for the entire harmony and you know, a coherence of all these things. So hindi yan dapat iniisip na masama. Kasi it goes into the controls, checks and balances of the entire coherent system.
And part of that coherence and harmony is, as a spirit quester naman, yung we are all supposed to experience the fullness of human existence. So, ibig sabihin, lahat ng mga emotions dapat pagdaanan natin in the end of rejoining our Creator. So, yung kailangan yan, necessary yan, yung rebellion, necessary yan, at kailangan merong ilalagay sa ganitong pwesto kasi nga, we have to experience everything.
Right. So, going back to the stature of women, I think that the latest that the Judeo-Christian tradition saw women as almost still equal with men was the time of Jesus himself.
Tama.
Jesus had an entire following of the women of women of Galilee. Who were just completely, all of them are women, and they were once washing their doing their washing their laundry, and he went there by the invitation of the Magdalene. And he talked there. And then, almost all of the followers of Jesus from that area was all women, and they were equal with the rest of the men that were his followers. And there is no clear indication there that the Sanhedrin or even the religious part of the Judeo government at the time was against it. Hindi naman wala naman sinasabi doon na galit, they crucified Christ because he was dealing with women. Wala naman ganon. Mary had her own name. She did not carry the name of her father or her husband. She was probably single or divorced. But just think of that. Mary had her own name. And Mary, the mother of Jesus, is Mary also. She is not Mary, the wife of Joseph, or the mother of Christ. She is Mary herself as her own existing entity. So at that time, equal pa sa mga lalaki, mga babae. And then everything went to hell when they institutionalized Christianity.
Tama, oo.
Because suddenly the Magdalene is a whore.
Oo, bigla na
And
lang.
Lilith is a demon, mother of all the demons in the world. And everything that has to do with women is unclean, and therefore and is a witch. And childbirth even is a unclean event in a human life. Such that women cannot go to the temple if they had just given birth. Which
At saka
insane.
Eve mismo, di ba, kinonsider na siya as tukso, nanukso. Kaya nga na-banish, sinisisi si Eve. So lahat na lang, puro biniblame ang kababaihan. Which is a distortion of what we should be, what we really are. Na-distort yan Kasi nga, part yan ng system of controlling the population.
Yes, it was a religion and was a form of social control.
Tama. Kaya nga, ang nangyari, nung time yan, even then, Roman, nung time na yan, di ba, women were treated as the same level as animals, di ba? Wala silang right of suffrage. They're like slaves or even worse. Kaya nga itong right of suffrage, yung pagboboto, dito lang yan itong 1930s yata, di ba?
20s,
oo. 1920s, di ba?
Yung suffrage.
Oo. So,
and it was at a great cost. Paano pinaglaban mo na yan? Ina-aresto nila yung mga babaeng gustong bumoto.
Look at the development now. Because the neoliberalists would really love to brandish this as their own achievement. That now there is an equality of men and women. But if you look at the development of the equality of men and women in this modern world, it is not the same as the equality of men and women in the classical period, in the ancient times. Hindi tayo bumalik doon. Ang ginawa natin dito ay we made women earn and deserve all of this equality that we are giving them. Parang hindi natin binalik sa kanila yung totoo nilang karapatan, kundi earn this, show us that you have the right to earn, to be free and to be equal with us. Which is really a sad story because
Kakalungkot, no?
because we really do not have the right to say that you deserve this or you do not deserve this because in the old times we were just equals.
Kumbaga sa simula pa lang, talagang
Diba?
pantay-pantay.
Ngayon tuloy ang lumalabas sa mga babae bago lang kayo nagkaroon ng karapatan. O what?
No, matagal na. 'Di ba matagal na?
Sabay tayo lahat yan.
Even sa sa music, ha?
Yeah.
Sa development ng music, anong mga babae hindi nire-recognize yung mga women composers? It's always the male composers from Bach to Beethoven, etc. But people do not know that there's Clara Schumann.
What about Anna Magdalena Bach?
Yeah, she is also a composer. In fact,
the daughter ba?
Yeah, the
Daughter of,
of
Johann
Johann Sebastian Bach, na napakadaming anak. Babaero yun, si Johann Sebastian
pero
Bach.
para ma-publish yung works ni Anna
Exactly.
Magdalena, they had to make it appear na
lalaki.
Composition ng dad niya.
Tama.
Tapos notebook lang niya yung ginamit.
Correct.
Ganon
oo.
katindi.
Ganon katindi. Inalis ang tamang estado ng mga kababaihan na composers, ha? At saka maski sa concert stage. Sa concert stage, hindi rin sila dire-recognize.
Yeah, that's why they invented the castrati.
Yeah.
Oo,
Tama.
diba? Diba bawal din ang babae na actress?
Yes, yes.
So, bawal kumanta sa opera ng babae, kaya they had to come up with the castrati.
Even sa Japanese culture, ha?
Diba?
Ganun
sa
din.
Peking, sa Opera
China,
House,
ganun
the
din. Sa China.
female roles
Lalaki.
were played by men with high voices. Sa Shakespeare, sa theater ni Shakespeare, ganun din, the women were played by boys.
Yeah, even the Vienna Boys Choir, kailangan at a certain age, ganun lang yung boses nila.
Kasi they can be the alto,
Sila yung mga boses
High
na
voice.
babae, di ba?
Kids.
Mga falsetto na yan, di ba?
Yung bago magbago yung
And
boses
even
nila.
in architect, even in paintings, okay, ang depiction ng mga women, palaging submissive, palaging naka-downplay. Ang mga lalaki, pansinin natin ang mga paintings nila, di ba? Palaging fighters, mga strong, ang depiction. Pero ang mga babae, submissive, nakahiga lang, di ba? May hawak na prutas, yung mga ganyan, di ba? Pero ang mga lalaki, kailangan may sword.
Dun sa the early Impressionists, one of the first Impressionist paintings, created a scandal kasi yung painting na yun had naked women alongside men who were fully dressed.
Fully dressed, yes. Oo.
ganun.
Parang women are supposed to serve men. Parang gano'n, di ba?
Tapos, kumbaga, undressed women, okay. Undressed men, not okay
Not
in
okay.
Edwardian England or during that period when the Impressionists were, so to speak, making a splash.
Lalo pa itong nagiging na-highlight. I remember kasi si Da Vinci ba yung doon sa Sistine Chapel? Yung dinipict niya, God as
Sistine
male.
sa Michelangelo.
Michelangelo. And si Adam, di ba? Sila lang,
Spark
male.
of life.
But there was no female depiction of any female because women, mababa ang tingin. Pinababa ang tingin sa babae.
That's why we call Yahweh the Father because man was supposed to have been made in the image of God, and therefore, paano yun?
Oo nga eh.
Diba? So incomplete yung mythology.
Incomplete talaga.
And it had to reflect a particular value of society at the time. Sabi ni Jeremy Huber, Marie Curie. The interesting thing about Madame Curie is that she's the only, Nobel Prize winner who won twice.
Well, and she was the only one who died of radiation.
Almost always portrayed in the early years as having helped her husband discover the radioisotope.
Ang totoo niyan, Pierre Curie was so enamored with the discovery of phlogiston, which was the early concept of the oxygen.
Yun.
And he was trying to discover that, and Marie Curie was discovering uranium and plutonium and all that stuff. That's why she died that way.
So, female archaeologists in the first part of the 20th century were never identified. There's a picture on my wall somewhere na meron discovery, I think it was in Egypt, na yung mga male archaeologists are in the pit,
nagpa-picture, oo.
nagpa-picture. Tapos yung mga women na archaeologists nakabihis, tapos parang nakatingin lang.
Oo,
So,
maling-mali, ano?
these days, hinahanap na nila yung pangalan ng mga female archaeologists who were in the picture because they were never given any credit for it. Samantalang they did the research, they did the actual digging. They're right beside the male archaeologists. They did discoveries also sometimes. And they just were never acknowledged kasi parang it was inconceivable.
Tama.
Para
Sabi, no?
maisip na meron na kaya ng babae yung ginagawa nun.
Oo.
So,
These are the really glaring stuff that is so easy to see the inequality of the genders. But there are so many things that we do not even see that we do every day na may insensitivity pa rin.
may measure of
Hindi natin alam, and we have to discover this on our own and correct them on our own without any institutional policy or commandment or whatever neoliberalist theology and whatever shit there is. You have to see all of these things. You confront a woman, look at them, look at her, and consider how you move in relation to that person.
dun sa
Personally.
diba? Sa halimbawa dito sa hashtag #MeToo movement, sinasabi para ma-appreciate ng mga tao yung supposed hidden misogyny. Paano kung nanay mo yon? Paano kung kapatid mo yon? Paano kung anak mong babae yan? Really, women have to be defined by the roles they play in your life. They can't be women. What if she's a human being? Walang ganon. Kailangan na, paano kung nanay mo yan? Para lang ma-conceptualize niya na nasasaktan yung
Half
tao.
of the entire sexism of this world is because of women themselves.
Diba?
I mean, this is a 50-50 fault.
Of course, we accepted it yun din
May kasalanan din ng babae dyan, and 50% of the entire fault there belongs to women. There it is.
Okay, magbabalikan tambayan ang oras natin, 12:33 ng tanghali.
Tambayan sa DWIZ. Muli nating balikan. Tambayan sa DWIZ.
Hindi ko nasabi kanina.
Nagbabalik ang tambayan at ang discussion natin pa rin ay on the archetypal roles of women and how history has treated them badly. Badly. Ayan,
How you allowed it also.
That's also true. That's also true. Pero maganda dun sa sa Celtic traditions, no? Yung triple goddess is the equal of the horned god.
Yes, the triple goddess, para alam nila yan, di ba meron yung tinasabing yung bata, and then yung maiden, and then the crone.
The crone. Yun yung parang sa stages of the moon.
Stages of the moon. So sila, yan yung concept of a woman talaga. At saka, kumbaga the horned god is for the fruits of summer, yung kung ano yung lumabas sa harvest, yun namang women, sila nag-nurture naman yan. So they go hand in hand Hindi, kaya nga may celebration kaming mga weekends na yung horned god, kina-celebrate namin together with the goddess of nature. Sabay sila. Hindi yan separate.
Kasi kung fertility, walang fertility kung hindi joined by both.
Always joined yung dalawang yan. Kaya nga, inseparable sila. Kaya lang, ang ginawa nga ng, as we said earlier, ang ginawa nga ng Judeo-Christian belief system, which is just one of the many belief systems, dinistort yung ganon. In-emphasize nila, kailangan male ang predominant. Ang dominant is male. Ang mga babae, submissive. Puro ganon, di ba? Historically, paintings, art, everything, talagang nirelegate na lang to the background ng babae.
Nakakatawa dyan because Judeo-Christian tradition, theology and all that, is based on the fact that the foundation of Christianity, which is the death and resurrection of Christ, was made known first to a woman.
Diba? Resurrection.
Babae pa.
Because the Christianity is based on the death and coming to life after death, and going to hell and going to heaven after that, committing sin and then being forgiven, and all of that cycle. All of this was made to be understood to a woman named Mary, na Magdalene. So, anong nangyari dyan?
Pero dun sa sa Chinese civilizations, traditions, di ba there's a yin and yang?
Yes.
They're equals.
Equals din.
Kaya lang, kaya lang yung male is power, it's positive, it's lucky, gano'n. Tapos yung female,
Naging,
vessel of emotion,
Negative
unclean.
Wait,
what? Ganon. Tapos yung aspects of womanhood, for example, the menstrual period. Pagka ang babae, and this is pretty common in all civilizations, pagka during her period, tinatabi siya because she is, in the Jewish tradition, in the term used by the Jewish tradition, unclean. Yeah, kasi dinudugo siya. So, pero in the other magical traditions naman, women were really excluded from some rites during that period, not because they were unclean, but because they're supposed to be very, very powerful at the time.
Yes. And preparatory yan to creation yung blood na yan, yung sa menstruation, yan ay preparation yan. So they have to be put on a certain status kasi nga prior to creation yan. So, mataas. Hindi siya yung madumi. Hindi ganun ang tingin ng ibang magical systems like kami mga Wiccans. We respect women talaga.
Well, Ethel would probably say that there is nothing dirty about the blood that comes out of the vagina of women during that period anyway. Because it's sterile.
Yes, it's sterile.
It's from the body, and still until it is out there and contaminated, it's really like urine, it's sterile.
And even the blood itself sa mga magical potions namin, very, very powerful lang blood. Very powerful
Life-giving yan.
Life-giving yan. That's life itself. So, very powerful yan sa mga potions, sa mga kulam na ginagawa, mga witchcraft namin.
Particularly, yes. Kasi, and in scientific fact, the menstrual the blood is actually what nourishes the fetus if conception occurs. And the reason for the outflow is because conception has not occurred. But it doesn't mean. So that's why in the magical traditions, it is so powerful, it can actually give life.
Kaya nga na-distort talaga, no? At saka yung dugo na yan, bukod nga sa life yan, sa aming mga we also use that to to get something in return. So it's like giving part of yourself. So that's how important it is. Kasi before you can ask something from the universe, you have to give something up. So, for example, kung gusto mong yumaman, magtrabaho ka.
Balance.
The balance. So, kung meron ka rin gustong hilingin through potions or divination, you have to give something. And the most powerful thing that you can offer is blood. That's why it's very important. So, hindi namin never did we treat women as unclean.
Well, yung alam mo, yung latest developments in science, for example, like stem cells and all that, the placenta, which is part of that entire system of women and their reproductive system. The placenta is there as part of that preparation for the implantation of the fertilized egg, diba? And that is the intrauterine wall filling up with blood and all that. And there is stem cell there, meaning undifferentiated cells, which could become differentiated cells depending on where you put them, because they will mimic their neighboring cells, and they become that, and they therefore help in the healing of something that is a disease. And that is the blood that we are talking about.
At saka, even if we go, I'll reveal a little secret of Wiccans, If, sorry mga fellow Wiccans, Hindi, kasi meron kaming magical rites during certain full moons. I think if it's not the Imbolc, baka meron kasing sabat kami na nagkakaroon ng sex, nag-engage in sex during the menstruation. So it nourishes everything. Iba yung nafe-feel ng mga nagse-sex
during that
period.
secret sex.
That's secret sex. Sorry to reveal that, but hanggang doon lang ang masasabi ko. But it's part of the magical rites.
Naging kadiri yan na science, and even science is wrong about that because it's not really contaminated blood anyway. Di ba? It's just red.
It's
probably
just red.
to you it's disgusting, or you're squeamish and you're scared of blood. But to those men, for example, who went to war and saw blood every day, they probably wouldn't mind that thing.
Well, but there also comes that association of blood and violence. So that's why there's some people who have mixed feelings about blood. Some actually outright faint.
Even sa ating local traditions sa northern Philippines, di ba they offer blood? They offer blood to get something from the universe, di ba? Like kung gusto nila mapacify ang let's say calamity.
Blood sacrifice.
Blood sacrifice. So blood is very important. So even in the Philippines, yung ating mga local belief systems dito, respected ang women, respected ang blood.
Correct. Ito maganda sabi ni A.J. Legarda, and let's not forget that one of the most powerful reagents in blood rituals is menstrual blood, since it is believed to contain the unused powers of creation.
Yes. That's very good. Tama yun.
Galing.
Thank you,
AJ.
Salutatorial. Parang di yata nagpaproduce
si Mamani nagno-nosebleed So,
nagno-nosebleed. Di ba, tas valedictorian naman siya
Sabi ni Doc Ethel, ang galing daw ng science natin because we're scientists.
Yes.
Awesome, Ethel. You know that.
Of course.
Ako, I'm a scientist. Okay. And at least two aspects. Okay. Pero, why did we...
Diba? It's a science,
linguistics,
yeah.
which is a science of language, and archaeology is
archaeology,
a science. So, why do we say archetypes? Balik tayo archetypes are actually boxes that you put people into. So, and yung sa women, it's so enduring na hanggang ngayon, meron pa rin tayo. Kaya nga yung anong type mong babae, yung simple lang.
Malandi.
Yung I've always hated that. Alam mo bakit? What do you mean simple lang? Do you mean simple as in uncomplicated or simple as in simple-minded? What the hell?
Diba?
It's probably the same.
See? There you go.
So, in other words,
Yung mga kalalakihan, ganun minsan ang pag-iisip.
men should revel in the complication of their women.
Yun nga.
Nati-threaten yung ibang male.
Problema mo yan kung hindi mo kaya yan, hiwalayan mo yan, maghanap ka ng mas tanga mo.
Tama.
Or, get a pet.
Tama. Ambisyon ko rin sa mga pets yun.
Ambisyon ka ng
Rabbits might be more docile.
Kailangan awesome ka rin.
Tama.
Ganyan yan.
Oo. Kaya nga bakit ganun ang tingin nila, no? Tapos ang babae rin naman kasi minsan nahanap sila ng lalaki, gusto nila malakas. Gusto nila sila yung magdadala, di ba?
And that's where yung thesis ni Ahmed is correct. That women allow it to happen.
Tama.
Some actually even like the inequality. But it goes against the whole concept of being human diba? You ask for in fact it goes against the very concept of being living in an age where you say things like democracy or equal rights or equality if you yourself do not agree that your very personhood is not equal, diba? Or it has to be subservient.
It doesn't have to be equal anyway. What's wrong with difference anyway? I mean, if men and women are different, I'm fine with that. I mean, I'm not
Women
afraid
are
that
different from each other.
I'm not afraid that a woman is different from me, and fine.
Diba?
You're not competing with
from the
ego.
point of view naman of the souls, no? Yung mga lahat ng mga kaluluwa na kausap ko na rin.
Walang gender ang soul, diba?
Walang gender, walang kasarian ang mga kaluluwa. Ngayon, isipin na lang natin, kung may lalaking kaluluwa at may babaeng kaluluwa, ibig sabihin ba nagko-procreate sila sa astral plane?
Diba?
At walang ganon.
Yeah, there's a funny story about that in England when I was still there. In the beginning, when the firstborn were created, there was no concept of man and women, and man and woman, or gender, or male or female. Until Lilith came out. And everyone was a man because Lilith is the woman. So the reaction to Lilith was, oh, let's be men. That is the story there.
Oo. So, lahat tayo, mga kaluluwa, meron tayong male and female characteristics and we can choose before we are born kung tayo ay magiging babae
In
or
the
lalaki.
Devachanic plane.
Oo. In other words, equal talaga. Dinistort lang talaga ng Judeo-Christian belief system na ang mga lalaki ay superior at ang mga babae ay inferior, which is mali. Pantay po yan dalawang yan.
Or, di ba?
Probably not
Sometimes,
pantay. Magkaiba lang talaga.
Magkaiba lang
different.
talaga.
Apples
no
and
way to
oranges.
compare them.
Apples
There's really no
and
way to
oranges
compare
yan.
them.
Parang trying to compare Neanderthals with Homo sapiens.
They're just different. And that's it. We should be fine with that.
Oo. Kasi both were created the same. Ganyan talaga.
Oo. Ayan, ang ganda sabi ni Avin, Acuña Gulo. Di ba sa salitang Tagalog, Bisaya, etc., ang pronouns ay hindi dichotomized into he or she. We only use siya.
Tama.
Correct. Because it reflects nga, the language is the ultimate reflection of culture and values.
Ibig sabihin, sa kulturang Pilipino, may paggalang tayo sa kababaihan. Sinira lang yan nung pumasok ang mga Kastila, Amerikano.
And they brought with it also things like sexually transmitted diseases, measles.
There was also a good
At
thing
mga mental diseases, dinala rin nila.
There was a good side of the entire divide, men and women. Kasi kung nandun tayo sa Europe, it would have been a different life for us. You know, our roles would have been different and all that. And therefore, there was a cultural development that also necessitated, needed this development of the clarification of gender roles and all that. But it doesn't mean that if they brought that here, that should also happen here and that should also be true here. Hindi dapat ganyan. Nakita natin na mukhang hindi effective sa ating sistema ng mga Espanyol na because even in their language, they have gender in their pronouns and even in their nouns and ship would be a woman.
Intrinsic in the conversation about archetypal women is the question of sex.
Yes.
Okay. So dati, marami na tayong mga misconceptions na tinitibag in the modern era. And that should also include, watch yourself here, the slut shaming. Okay, I have to bring that up. Why? Because Lilith nga is that they had to demonize her because for her sex was she could be in the dominant position. In other words, the traditional concepts of sex as merely procreation, not for pleasure, not for anything, and that there were certain roles even during the act of having sex that had to be played out. So Lilith is supposed to have broken all of those down.
The problem there is that sex as equated to the weakness or the vileness of women, really does not have any. It does not have any basis anywhere. Lilith is an angel. She can reproduce without sex, and the only attribution to sex was that part in the Bible where it says Lilith refused to have sex with Adam. Well, it's not even in the Bible. It's in the
it's in the Jewish oral tradition.
That
says Lilith refused to have sex underneath Adam. But that's the only one story that has something to do with sex there. And to us now we understand this is an allegory. So really, sex has nothing to do with all this inequality. Sex was neutral anywhere we go until that story, that part of that story, which is the only one in history, has had to do something, with women.
And sex itself,
and don't forget onanism. Anyway,
is beautiful. Except that later on na distort, ginawa ng iba ang concept ng sex. That's why priests have to be deprived of sexual relations, di ba? But then sex is beautiful, sex is sacred, sex is part of being human.
Correct.
We have to experience it. It can be for procreation, it can be for pleasure. Kaya lang ang nangyari, dinistort.
Oo.
Again, ayan na naman, pumasok na naman yung Judeo-Christian belief system.
Magagalit sa'yo niyan.
Sino magagalit?
There's really there is an understandable phenomenon that hindi nila maintindihan kung bakit si Jesus ay hindi nila matanggap na maaaring may anak ito, may asawa ito, may pamilya itong sarili niya. Because of that idea na the priesthood is a pure vocation and all that stuff. But really, I went to the seminary for 3 years, college philosophy, and we talked about all these things. And sex as an unclean act has nothing to do with that, with a vow of chastity and celibacy. It has something to do with the focus of efforts to which one job you want to dedicate yourself. Sinasabi dyan yung mga pare ganyan dahil he had to focus his energies and everything and his devotion to the church. And the church is a woman. And the church is the bride of Christ. So, really, all this symbolism confuses me.
Nakakasakit ng bangs, di ba? Masakit sa bangs.
Oo nga pala. But you have to drive the conversation pa rin to one of the last remaining prejudices against women is that men can do it, women shouldn't.
Oo, di ba?
Diba? Kaya nga may slut shaming. You don't slut shame a man. Matutuwa lang yun eh. At least that is the belief that I disagree. There's some men who feel extremely uncomfortable when accused of sleeping around. Pero with women, it's so easy. Mind you, I did not participate in the slut shaming of certain political figures, for instance, because there were sex tapes going around. That characterizes the last very painful discriminatory attitude towards women, that if they supposedly sleep with somebody or it's not an exclusive relationship or not within the bounds of marriage, God forbid, diba? Suddenly you're a slut, you're a tramp, and there's so many names for it.
That is the reason why I use bitch to refer to men and women and even myself. The equality of the tradition. It has nothing to do with
ang nakakatuwa itong ating mga pinag-usapan ngayon, may connect ko to kasi Jupiter retrograde.
Okay, yeah,
Jupiter retrograde means learning. That's why we are learning. Part of Jupiter retrograde is learning, opening up the mind to understanding so many things. Plus, Pluto retrograde pa tayo. So, revelation. So, nare-reveal, marami sa mga katambay natin, ngayon lang narinig ito, or biglang, oo nga, no, tama nga naman, nagbubukas yung kaisipan nila.
Kulang tayo ng oras, no? Pero meron pa lang bukas.
Kasi Age of Aquarius na tayo. Enlightenment.
So,
taas ng kamalayan. Antas ng kamalayan. At yan ay makakabuti, hindi lamang sa ating mga pagkaisipan, kundi pati sa ating mga kaluluwa.
Okay, my parting words would probably this. We live in a modern society and we are getting closer and closer to the understanding of what science is all about. Maybe we are not getting closer and closer to truth, but we are getting closer and closer to handling or getting a grasp of how to handle the truth. So, how does it happen? How do we go about it? We should we go about it by respecting the multiplicity of beliefs, the multiplicity of truths. That there is no one truth, there is no absolute truth, but there are many truths out there, and some of them might go completely opposite to yours, but you have to look at it, understand it, and respect those things, because really there is no other way to go about it in this modern world. And even science opens our minds to different proliferation of truths that is no longer, that is a departure from the tyranny of the Western religious truth. That's it.
Yun na nasabi ko na nga, Jupiter retrograde tayo, tapos yun nga, Age of Aquarius, and ito ay, we are already, I think we're about to, no, not yet, but we are going towards the 4th dimension na. Ibig sabihin, yun nga, we will discover more and we will learn more
Okay. Maraming salamat sa pagtambay ninyo. More of this discussion possibly by Mangku Thursday next week, if not earlier. Thank you very much for being with us today. Para dun sa mga nagagalit, there's still a part 2.
Meron.
Para galitin ka pa namin. Tambayanan ang susunod na programa, In the Heart of Business, kasama si Maru Pahati Sarni at Juan Tapia Mark. See you tomorrow on Karambola and Tambayan.
Tambayan sa DWIZ.